31st was the last date, right? So I hope you have done. I will see that tonight and then revert to you. Okay. So the doubt that you should have raised, that I will explain now. Okay. After explaining, if you see that yes, you have noticed this doubt but did not contact me, then you should unmute and tell me. Okay. The thing is, I did not mention this one because it was not written in the steps. Okay, if I mention this and in online mode, it would have become quite difficult for you to understand because Acha, can you see just one of you unmute and tell me, can you see the screen where the initial transportation cost is shown as 125? Just one of you unmute and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so see, this is a problem which we have solved already. This was the first problem of degeneracy in transportation. Okay. Now I have not shared the steps. There is a write up on the steps also. I have not shared with you that. And in the problem, the thing was not mentioned. That's why I did not told you. And that I did it intentionally also because I wanted to see how many of you are completing the sums. If you are completing the sums, then only you will be able to identify this doubt. Otherwise, you won't be able to identify. So I don't know whether you have encountered this doubt or not. If you only do the things in your copy, then only you will come across this doubt. So that's intentionally I did not mention. I wanted to see how many of you are actually doing in your copy, and I was very much surprised to see only one two contacting me. I don't know, maybe few of you have also identified but did not contact me. So once you recognize that you have identified this doubt, then you should unmute and tell after I explain this. Okay. Now see, this is a MODI. This is a modified distribution method of testing whether your derived transportation cost is the optimum one or not. What is MODI? MODI is an optimality test. Okay. Optimal means what? It is the best cost that you could derive. So whether it is the best cost or not, this cost that I was showing you, this 125, whether this is the best cost or whether this is the optimal cost or not, that is checked with the help of MODI method, right? Now we have discussed elaborately the steps of MODI. We have spent 1.5 weeks on this. So I'm not going to discuss these steps again. But there is one thing which I need to mention. I did not mention before the Puja holidays. Now see, while all of you should listen to me carefully if you want to understand this, okay? See, you remember the loop, how we created the loop? We started from the cell in which we got the right hand side or del ij as a negative value. We started with that cell. We started to create the loop from that cell which was showing you a negative del ij value. That means the right hand side value was negative, right? So we started from that cell, and the rule is you should move towards the right, and you should keep on moving till the time or till the cell you are getting, till the time you are getting an allocated cell. That means there should be a circled number in that cell. Okay, so that is the rule. You should move rightwards from the cell which is having a negative del ij. You will move rightwards, and if the immediate right cell is an allocated cell, then you should stop there and move towards the upward side. If not, then you should keep moving towards the right until and unless you get an allocated cell. Okay, then once you get an allocated cell, you should move upward. So in this sum, we saw that only the immediate right hand side cell was an allocated cell. So you stopped there, And then the rule says that for creating the loop, you should move upward. Then we moved upward. Then again the rule stands that if the immediate upward cell is an allocated one, then you should stop, otherwise you should keep moving. So we saw that the immediate upward cell is an allocated one. So we stopped there. Then the rule is you should move left hand side. To create and finish the loop, you should move left hand side. So once you are moving left hand side, then also you saw that the immediate left hand side cell was an allocated one. So you stopped there. And the last step in creating the loop is you should move downward and join the loop at the point from where you have started. So following that rule, we moved downward and we closed the loop. Right, we closed the loop at the point from where we had started. So there is a square format we have got in the loop. Very happy we were. Now what was the next thing that we did? We identified the next step is to assign the signs, right? Next step is to assign the signs. So from the cell where we started, that means the cell which was giving a negative del ij value, we will assign a plus sign. We start with a plus sign and we go on allocating alternatively. Plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, like that. Okay? So we will assign a plus in the cell from where we had started the loop. Then in the next cell, we will assign a negative sign. Then in the next cell through which the loop has passed, we will assign a plus sign, and then we will again assign a negative sign. That's how we got plus, minus, right? In the loop, in the cell through which the loop has passed. So we got plus, minus, okay? Then next step was to identify the cells where we have written a negative sign. Why? Because now we have to take the minimum allocation from out of the cells in which you have written a negative sign. So in this loop, there were only 4 cells involved in this loop. So you got 2 negative signs, right? One is in the cell number 2, 1, and one is in the cell number 3, 2. So this cell number 2, 1 and 3, 2 are the cells in which you have written a negative sign. Then our next step is what? We have to take the minimum of the allocated numbers. So what are the allocated numbers in these 2 cells? The allocated numbers are 10 in both the cells. They are all same, right? There is the number 10 in both the cells. So the minimum of both 10 and 10 is 10 only, isn't it? That's what we had understood. Now, so we will take 10. We will consider the number 10. How to consider that and how to proceed with that number, that will be done in the next step. But for now, you understand that we have to take the minimum of the allocated numbers which are there in the cells where you have written a negative sign. So this is 10 and 10. So our considered number is also 10, because minimum of 10 and 10 is 10 again. So now what to do with this 10? This 10, now all of you listen to me very, very carefully. This is the step which I have put a hidden information. I told you that this minimum number should be allocated in the cell which was showing a negative del ij. That means in the cell from where you had started to create the loop. Okay. So this number 10 will be allocated in that cell. That means cell number 3 and 1, because this is the cell from where we had started to create the loop, right? So this 10 will go to this cell. Now, this one is very important. Okay. Now this 10 will be added to the cell through which the loop has passed and the cell in which you have written plus sign. Okay, are you getting my point? I did not mention this step beforehand. I don't know how many of you were able to understand that. When I am saying this, how many of you are able to understand that? I have a doubt on that. But this was the step which I did not mention. I told you that this minimum of 10 and 10, that is 10 again, should go to the cell from where you have started to create the loop. That is the cell which was showing a negative del ij. Okay, very good. But this 10 will again be added to the cells where you have written a plus sign also. Okay, it should be added also. That is how, what will you get in the next table or in the next format that you will make? What will you get? You will get a 10 in this cell where it was a negative del ij, and this two cell which was having the negative sign, they will be omitted. There won't be any numbers in that cell. Okay, so you will merge these two and put the merged number in the cell from where you had started to create the loop. And this number, this merged number or the identified minimum number will again be added to the cell which is having a plus sign. Tell me which is the cell that is having the plus sign. No need to tell me the cell name. Tell me which is the allocated number in the cell where you have written a plus sign. Tell me which is the allocated number, that means the circled number in the cell where you have put a plus sign. Tell me.
Ma'am, 5.
Yes, it is 5. So that 10 will be added to this 5. So what will we get? See, in the next table, this is the iteration table that you got after performing Modi. Initializing with Modi, you got this table. So what you can see that in this cell from where we had started to create the loop, we have assigned 10. This 10 was the minimum number of these two allocated ones, that is cell number 2, 1 and 3, 2. So this 10 has been merged because the minimum is the same. So we have merged and put the minimum identified number in the cell number 3, 1, because here we were getting a negative del ij. We will put that one. And the 10 will again be added to the cell which was in which you have assigned a plus sign. So it will become 15 now. Instead of 5, it will become 15. Okay. So the rule is again you will have to perform the Modi, and then you have to check whether all the del ij's are coming positive or not. Okay. You should solve this sum. You should solve this sum in your copy. I'm going on explaining, and the explanations are being recorded, and then I'm uploading it in Moodle also. So you can refer to these explanations, and at the same time, you should go for the calculations. Looking at the book, I think 50% of you are just copying the things in your copy, and you will show that one after the college reopens. Or in the uploaded assignments also you're doing that. But it is very important to understand, otherwise you will not be able to learn. See, the situation is such that you have to get accustomed to this conditions. You will have to change yourself. Okay, you cannot go on copying things and then just bluffing the teacher. You cannot go like that. You have to change yourself. All right, so I don't know how many of you have identified that I have not mentioned this step. I hope few of you identifies, but I did this intentionally so that I understand how many of you are actually understanding and doing the sum. If you want to learn, this entire semester is going to be like this only. I don't know when the colleges will reopen. So it is very important that you change yourself and then understand and then do the sum in your copy. Okay. So after doing the removing the negative signs, we found that there is a problem of degeneracy. We saw that the number of allocated cells are becoming 4. That means here, how many cells are allocated? There are 4, 10, 15, 10, 30. So there were 4. In order to remove this is called degeneracy, right? When the number of allocated cell will be less than the value of m plus n minus 1. What is m? M is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. So m plus n minus 1, that value should be exactly equal to the number of allocated cell. If not, then there is a problem of degeneracy. And in order to resolve it, you have to put an epsilon, which looks like an E. If you write E in cursive form, it will look like an epsilon. So that epsilon number you have to put in the cell, which is in which cell will you write? You will write in the unallocated cell where you can see the minimum cost. Okay. So out of the unallocated cell, you have to identify the one which is having the minimum cost, and there you will have to insert or write that epsilon. Okay. So this is the thing that I wanted to mention today. I hope you have understood. If not, you can please refer to the recorded clip of this class that will be uploaded in Moodle tonight. Okay, and then do the sum in your copy. In a similar fashion, the next sum was also having the same missing step, which I did not mention. It was in that sum we saw, this is the next sum that we did already, performing Modi. Then here we saw that the loop is not an easy one. It is not a square format, and then we in this loop we had to move. We had to keep on moving until we got an allocated cell at the corner. The point is there, the corner points should be allocated cell. In the loop, the corner points should be allocated cells. Okay. So in this problem, we saw that the loop is not an easy looping one, and it was not at a clear square or rectangle format. It was moving. Sometimes we had to move towards rightward. Then we saw that, yeah, okay. So here in this particular point, if you can see my arrow, see in the cell where there is a number 30, we could not move towards the left because in the left hand side there was no allocation, and immediate left and then moving more towards the left, there was also not not any cell in the left hand side. So we could not move left hand side. We had to move upward. And then find one allocated cell. And then we saw that, yeah, there is an allocation in the cell. Then we move left hand side, and then we closed the loop by moving downward. So this, until and unless you do it in your copy, you won't be able to understand how to draw this loop. Okay, I cannot, I hope I could use the board and then show you. I will see after I finish off the syllabus. I will see if I can arrange for anything like that where I can, keep on writing and then you can follow something like the real classrooms. Or someday I will go to the college and then explain, make a video, and then something like that I will try to do. But once I finish off the syllabus, that will be done. But till that time, you cannot stop understanding, no? So you should keep on understanding and doing the sum. So please do it in your copy after understanding it. Do not just copy the things which the solution is entirely shared to you. Am I a fool that I will share the solution, then again asking you to do the assignment on that? Many of you will do just copying it and writing it in your copy, but I will be able to understand who is actually doing and who is just copying the things in their copy. Only one of you had contacted, and no one is unmuting also, saying that, ma'am, yes, I noticed this, I had a doubt, but I could not contact you, like that. None of you are mute also, so that indicates that none of you identified also. So that was the point, okay, giving you this assignment, open book assignment. Still I kept this a hidden fact, as an hidden fact, to understand whether you are really doing the sum or not. Anyways, so here I wanted to say this one also. See, negative signs are in the cell where 65 is the allocation, 30 is the allocation, and 25 is the allocation, right? After putting the signs alternatively, we saw that these three cells are having the negative signs, which are having the number 65, 30, and 25. So what was the step? What is the rule? You have to take the minimum. In the last one, both the numbers were 10, so minimum was 10 also. But here the numbers are different. So what will be the minimum? Tell me, one of you unmute and tell me what will be the minimum number that you will take. Out of 25, it will be 25. Now what to do with this 25? We will merge the cells which are having the negative signs. We will merge the cell and put this 25 in the cell from where we started to create the loop, right? Then again this 25 will be added to the cells where you have written a plus sign. So this one, that is cell number 2, 3 will become 50, right? Also this cell, that is cell number 1, 2, this will become 30 because here 5 is already there. So it will become 30. So let us see. Let us see the iteration table. You see the iteration table. It is becoming 30 and it is becoming 50, like that. Okay, those who have done, they will easily understand. So I am not elaborating on this fact. So this cell number 1, 2, that is O1, D2 is becoming 30. The cell number O2, D3 is becoming 50. So the 25 is coming to that cell number O3, D1 because it is the cell from where we had started to create the loop, isn't it? So that's how you got it, and then you would have got the, what is the number of allocations, final number of allocations? They are 40, 30, 10, 5, 50. And okay, oh, another thing. That in the previous sum, this was 10, no? 10 and 10 in both the things. So 10 was merged. Now, when the numbers will be different, say here the numbers are what? 65, 30 and 25. No? What was the number? Let me see. Just a second. Yeah, 65, 30 and 25. So this 25 you are taking, but 25 is not the number in all the three cells, no? 25 is not the number in all the three cells. The cell number O2, D2 is having 30 and the cell number O1, D1 is having 60. So, like the way this 25 is getting added to the cells which is having a plus sign, this 25 will also be deducted from the cell which are having the negative signs. You cannot merge now because these numbers are different. In the last sum, numbers were same, so 10 minus 10 was 0, was going to be 0. So there was no point in allocating. You merged it. But here you cannot merge. You have to keep the allocations, but you will deduct this 25 from the negative sign cells and you will add this 25 from the positive sign cells. Okay. Then refer to the recording. If not clear, I just mentioned it once, so it might happen. Few of you are not having clear idea, so you can refer to the recording. Okay, so that is how we will get 10 here because it was 40 here because it was 65. So from 65 we will deduct 25 and you will get 40. Then there was 30 here in the cell O2 D2. So from 30 you will deduct 25 and you will get 5. And from this cell, that is O3, D3, this is the cell from where you have taken the minimum number. So you will withdraw the number from here because 25 is gone to this cell. right? Then how many allocations will be there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8. Right. Total 8 allocations are there. Am I correct? 1, 2, 3. Was there 20? Let me see. Yeah. 1. Oh, okay. You do this sum first. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6, then 7. Yeah. Total 7 allocations you're getting. You should do this sum in your copy. You refer to the recording and at the same time you solve the sum in your copy as well. So you will see finally there are 7 allocations. A number of rows are 4. Number of columns are also 4. So 4 plus 4, 8 minus 1, that is 7. So you will not get a degeneracy in this problem. Okay. You will not get a degeneracy in this problem. You can simply apply Modi. I should change the name of this file from degeneracy to Modi, because here there is no degeneracy. Once you do this sum in your copy, you will see that there is no degeneracy, and performing Modi only there was del ij negative. Only there was del ij as negative. So you had to move ahead with the Modi by creating the loop. Had the del ij's all been positive, you would not have applied this step of creating the loop. So did you identify that there are 2 types of Modi? One is your performing Modi and getting the del ij's in the very first step. In that case, you are not supposed to create the loop and move ahead. And one type of Modi is you will get del ij as negative and then you have to move ahead by creating the loop. Okay. So 2 types of Modi we have done. I will try to make a video by explaining on the board. Let me see if it is possible. I don't have a board at home, so I'll have to go to college and make it. So if I can do that, I will surely share it with you. But once you practice, it will be clear because we have spent a lot of time in this. So there should not be any problem. Still, I will try to make a video. Okay, so you respond now, okay? Respond. I'm calling the names. Abhijit, Abhishra, Anurag, Aryan,
Yes, ma'am.
Ashish,
Yes, ma'am.
Ashmita, Vibetsna,
Present, ma'am.
Devrupa, Harshita,
Present, ma'am.
Ishika Chaudhary, Ishika Agarwal, Kajal,
Present, ma'am.
Kasak,
Present, ma'am.
Kushi, Prizan,
Present, ma'am.
Mahima,
Present, ma'am.
Mamta,
Present, ma'am.
Muskan Prasad,
Yes, ma'am.
Muskan Gupta,
Yes, ma'am.
Namrata,
Yes, ma'am.
Nidhi,
Present, ma'am.
Nitesh, Parnodeep, Pavan, Prashil, Pratiksha Chhetri, Pratiksha Giri,
Present, ma'am.
Priyanka,
Present, ma'am.
Pooja, Rahul, Rajat, Ramkrishna, Rohit Bansal, Rohit Pandey, Sagar, Salina, Shalini,
Present, ma'am.
Shruti, Siddhant, Saurav,
Present, ma'am.
Tobit,
Yes, ma'am.
Supriya, Suraj, Swayam, Tanya, Vinit. Okay, so one more information. I have still 1 minute. Those who got supplement, in economics, microeconomics, managerial economics, you can please contact me regarding any doubt. If you need any help from my side, I'm there to help you. Okay, you should contact me. And if you want to attend the classes of managerial economics that is going on these days, you can attend that also. I have shared the link to Debrupa. She can share it to you in case you need to attend those classes. You are welcome to attend that. Okay, all right, so see you at 9:20 again. Bye bye, and please join on time. Bye bye.